Since the Poco F1 back in 2018, every year people keep waiting for a phone between 20 to 30,000 rupees, which would provide flagship grade performance and great value. Realme X2 Pro managed to do exactly that back in 2019. Can Realme do that again with the Realme X7 Pro in 2021, or is it too late and too expensive? Well, let's find out in this long-term review of the Realme X7 Pro after 2 months of use. Starting off with the design, this back design has quite a lot of mixed reactions. Some people like this AG glass finish, which resists fingerprints and shows different colors at different angles. On the other hand, some people find this oversized, dare-to-leap branding a bit tacky. I personally don't mind it too much. What I really like about this phone is how well balanced it is. It doesn't feel too big and heavy in the hand, while providing a display big enough to enjoy gaming and media consumption. While the frame is plastic, this phone doesn't have any flex to it, which is great. For protection, you get Gorilla Glass 5 on the front. The phone is also splash resistant, so it will survive an accidental spill or light rain without any problems. This is perhaps one of the best aspects of this phone. You get an amazing 6.55-inch Super AMOLED display capable of 1200 nits of peak brightness, 120Hz refresh rate, and 240Hz touch sampling rate. This is pretty much the gold standard as far as displays are concerned. Also, it's a flexible AMOLED display, which means you get a super thin chin, only 3mm in size. With regards to media consumption, you get Widevine L1 support for HD playback in Netflix and HDR support in YouTube. So the display is top notch, no complaints whatsoever. Okay, now let's talk about the audio performance of this phone. First, the good news. This phone has stereo speakers where the earpiece doubles up as a secondary speaker, and the sound quality these speakers deliver is simply great. It gets pretty loud, has clear mids and highs, and good enough bass to give the sound a little oomph. Here is an audio sample. Really good sound, right? Now coming to the bad news, this phone misses out on a 3.5mm audio jack, which is disappointing, especially for a phone under 30,000 rupees. However, at least they are providing an adapter in the box to connect your wired headphones, and when you do that, the sound output is quite impressive, as this phone supports Dolby Atmos. Coming to the earpiece for calls, it gets pretty loud, so handling calls in a noisy environment won't be an issue. Coming to the cameras, this is perhaps one of the slightly underwhelming aspects of this phone. Unlike the Realme X2 Pro, the Realme X7 Pro misses out on a telephoto lens. The ultra-wide camera has fixed focus and cannot double up as a macro camera. And you get two completely unwanted cameras, a 2MP macro camera and a 2MP depth sensor. The only good camera used here is the primary camera, which has a 64MP Sony IMX686 sensor, which is considered to be one of the best. And the front 32MP selfie camera is also a good one. Jumping to the image samples, in good lighting, the primary camera does a very good job. You get good looking shots with lively colors, a lot of detail, and great dynamic range. And because it's a big sensor, you also get nice natural bokeh in close-up shots. No need to use that low-resolution macro camera. Just shoot with the primary camera and then crop in. You'll get much better results that way. The ultra-wide camera is decent in good lighting, but it doesn't have very good dynamic range, and as soon as the light starts dimming, this camera completely falls apart. Fortunately, the primary camera shines in low light as well. You can get really nice shots with night mode, especially the Pro Night mode and tripod mode. Coming to portrait mode shots, The rear camera captures some incredibly detailed shots, but the dynamic range is not as good as the front camera portrait shots. Speaking of the front camera, this 32 megapixel selfie camera is quite impressive in most situations. However, when you put it to test in some challenging situations, the results look quite unnatural. Also, for low light shots, you have to choose between dim and grainy shots or bright shots with extremely aggressive noise reduction. Coming to video, this phone can record 4K 60 FPS videos with its primary camera, and the footage looks quite good. However, if you want more stabilized footage, you have to drop down in resolution as well as frame rate. The front camera is limited to 1080p 30 FPS, which is quite disappointing, especially considering the fact that OnePlus Nord and Vivo V20 Pro both can do 4K 60 FPS video with the front camera. So overall, while this phone captures some great shots in most situations, it is not as versatile as its predecessor, the Realme X2 Pro. Okay, time for this phone to shine. This phone comes with Mediatek's top-of-the-line Dimensity 1000 Plus SoC. Mediatek is generally associated with low-cost, low-performance hardware, so I was a bit concerned. But all my concerns have been put to rest by this phone's incredible performance. In terms of raw performance numbers, it completely outclasses Snapdragon 765G found in OnePlus Nord, but it doesn't quite match up to the insane performance of Snapdragon 865 found in iQOO 3, Mi 10T and so on. Still, using this phone on a day-to-day basis is an absolute treat, as it is super fast and responsive. When it comes to gaming, it impresses again. Asphalt 9 runs at 60 FPS in high-quality graphics mode with hardly any frame drop and stutters. Call of Duty Mobile unfortunately doesn't support maximum graphics at maximum frame rate, but I feel this phone can handle it. It's just that the game developers haven't enabled it yet. However, at very high graphics and very high frame rate, this game runs like butter on the Realme X7 Pro. Last but not the least, Genshin Impact. This is currently the biggest and most demanding game for Android. And while this game isn't running flawlessly on this phone, it is very much playable. You do notice some stutters and frame drops from time to time, but given how demanding this game is, even this level of performance is definitely worth appreciating. Also, while playing all these demanding games, this phone definitely gets warm, but never uncomfortably hot. So, the vapor chamber based cooling system used in this phone is definitely doing a good job. Realme X7 Pro comes with Realme UI 1.0 based on Android 10 out of the box. And unfortunately, the Realme UI 2.0 based on Android 11 is still nowhere to be found. Based on the Realme roadmap, the beta update should come out this month in April, but the stable update will take even longer. This is quite disappointing, as this phone is their flagship phone, still using outdated software, while their budget and mid-range phones like the Realme 8 series come with Realme UI 2.0 out of the box. Anyways, when it comes to the actual UI, it is one of my favorites, as it is quite polished and comes with a lot of useful features. It also comes with some unwanted pre-installed bloatware and a ridiculous amount of spam notifications from system apps like Browser and Realme Store. These issues can be easily fixed, but they do spoil the overall experience a little bit. Coming to the battery department, this phone comes with a total of 4500 mAh of battery capacity split between two batteries. In terms of battery life, this phone isn't going to win any awards for best battery life, but it still manages to keep the phone going for a day of medium to heavy use, even at 120Hz, which is quite respectable. The charging speed on this phone, however, is downright awesome, thanks to the included 65W charger. It takes only 15 minutes to go from 0 to 45% charge and only 30 minutes to reach 90% charge. So, in case you are running low on battery, a 10 to 15 minute top up will give you nearly half a day of battery life. Quite impressive, right? For biometric security, you get a really fast, secured and reliable under-display fingerprint scanner. You also get a super fast but less secure face unlock system. The haptics used in this phone are quite good, better than most mid-range phones out there. In terms of box content, you get everything you need to get started. Coming to sensors and connectivity, this phone is fully loaded with nothing missing, including NFC and Wi-Fi 6. With regards to networks, again this phone is fully loaded. It is 5G ready with many bands supported, and as far as 4G is concerned, it supports carrier aggregation as well as voice over LTE and voice over Wi-Fi. Alright, conclusion time. First, let's answer the most important question. Is it a worthy successor to the Realme X2 Pro at delivering great value for the given price? Unfortunately, no. It is a step back in terms of camera versatility and not a big step up in terms of performance or charging speeds. The only major improvement is related to the display, that is from 90Hz to 120Hz. Still, this is a very good phone overall, but I feel it is a bit overpriced at 30,000 rupees. If priced between 25 to 27,000 rupees, this phone would have been much more appealing. And the competition, especially iQOO 3, has come down in price and now undercuts the Realme X7 Pro in pricing while providing superior performance and more versatile camera setup. So overall, the Realme X7 Pro is a very good phone, but definitely needs a price cut to be successful. Alright, that's it for this review. Hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel down below. Thanks for watching.